Members of the House of Assembly will meet tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock with the expectation that the government will continue answering questions from the opposition. When the House last met on Monday, Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham made a communication in which he confirmed that the new Providence Infrastructural Improvement Project is now $77 million over budget, and the government will be seeking to borrow $65 million from the Inter-American Development Bank to complete what's now a $206 million project, instead of the original $66 million project negotiated in 2001. Dr. Bernard Nottage, the Member of Parliament for Bain and Grantstown, who is the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, also tabled a report on the project in which the government was accused of mismanaging the project and interfering in the process. The Living Oceans Foundation made an historic launch here in the Bahamas at the Atlantis Resort on the weekend, marking the first year of its Global Reef Expedition, a 5-year world study of the health of coral reefs in remote areas. The foundation conducted research in 3 areas in the Bahamas, including the Anaguas, Andros, and Key Sal banks. Our Cyan Thompson has more.
The Bahamas should be grateful to the Living Oceans Foundation, which conducted research in remote areas of the archipelago. The foundation's in-depth research led to the country's leading environmental organization, the Bahamas National Trust, calling for the protection of 2 areas, including Key Sal, and further protection for water and land areas in Anagua. Living Oceans research shows that these areas are immensely rich in marine resources. Minister of the Environment Earl DeVoe thanked the foundation.
The Bahamas National Trust has already put before the government a request to create the Key Sal Marine Park, and so that will be done. The Hogsty area off of Anagua has also been proposed as a World Heritage Site by the Bahamas National Trust. It's a peculiar feature in the Bahamas.
Meantime, founder of Living Oceans, His Royal Highness Khalid bin Sultan, Prince of Saudi Arabia, wants the extensive research to benefit marine resources worldwide.
We go to places where we are invited officially by their governments to help them. We share, as Ian said, 100% of the information with the country, with the government, with the organization. But what the government would do, that is their internal policy, which we don't want to get involved in.
Captain Philip Ronald, Executive Director of the Foundation, has been leading these exhibitions and explains the importance of protecting the world's coral reef resources.
The Bahamian government said the same thing about Conception Island. You know, Conception Island, the terrestrial area was protected, but not the marine area surrounding it. So they said, if you could go out and survey the marine environment around Conception Island, we'll consider creating a marine protected area. And that was a few years ago, and they have.
That's happened.
So that is so encouraging to us, and it's great for us to leverage those types of opportunities.
Following the official launch of Living Oceans Foundation Global Expedition, a 20-minute documentary of the research conducted underwater here in the Bahamas was viewed by the public at the Atlantis Theater. Cyan Thompson, ZNS News.
Investigations are ongoing into that fire on Friday in a Haitian village in the Gamble Heights area just off Blue Hill Road, which destroyed 9 homes and displaced some 60 people. Director of Fire Services Walter Evans says the fire proved challenging as up to 4 fire engines had to be used to extinguish the blaze.
There were 3 additional homes which had received moderate fire damages which were nearby, and we believe approximately about 15 persons may have been displaced. On other stage, the investigations is ongoing.
Now, village resident Sasha Lubin was not directly affected by the fire, but was at home when it broke out.
All of us were standing outside, and when we see a little bit of smoke coming up, and when we ran in the back, so happened, you know, the fire just blazed so hard and everything. And then when we started trying to call 911, we couldn't get 911. And then when I ran down there to the neighbors to try to call the fire engine, and a gentleman was so nice enough. He said, "Oh, I already called," and then the engine come, but they worked very hard, help us, because if they didn't come, all that side would have been burned. In terms of health, the Church by the Adventist Church feeding people like most from Sunday. They was feeding us from Saturday actually. They was feeding them from Saturday until today, and today at 1 o'clock they go and they get feed.
The College of the Bahamas celebration of the 50th anniversary of the women's suffrage movement continued Tuesday evening with a symposium on the legacy of the suffrage movement. The week-long event, being held at COB's Performing Arts Center, takes a comprehensive look at the struggle Bahamian women endured to obtain the right to vote. COB lecturer Dr. Christopher Curry is the organizer.
Well, I want people to see that the suffrage movement was not monolithic. It wasn't just one set of ideas. It was multifocal. There were many people involved, people with different ideas. And also they didn't just want the right to vote. They wanted citizenship rights. They wanted inalienable natural rights for all people in the Bahamas.
Now, Dr. Curry says a number of historical nuggets about the women's fight for equality are being revealed in each session.
So far, what's really resonated with me, the groundswell of support and people, that it wasn't just, one or two individuals. There were many women who had different political views and aspirations, but they all coalesced under one idea about getting the right to vote and to deepen democracy through true citizenship rights for women.
The COB Symposium marking the 50th anniversary of the women's suffrage movement continues this evening. The topic will be gender equality in the Bahamas. Well, it's one of the oldest sororities in the United States. Alpha Kappa Alpha recently launched its undergraduate chapter here in the capital with students at the College of the Bahamas. It was a proud moment for scores of young women who will have an opportunity to use the organization to get together and come up with community initiatives. Alpha Kappa Alpha Board of Directors also met for several days at the Atlantis Resort, Paradise Island, discussing pertinent matters relating to the growth of the organization internationally. International Regional Director Evelyn Sample Oates.
The international region. So most of our chapters are based in the United States, but we want to expand our international footprint. So we're so excited to have the opportunity to bring 13 young, talented, intelligent women into the organization so they can do more to help the community, to improve the quality of life in the community, and to grow and to help expand sisterhood.
Minister of Social Services Loretta Butler Turner was on hand to welcome the prestigious board of directors of Alpha Kappa Alpha to the Bahamas.
I want you to know that you all are so important to us, and I trust that you enjoy yourselves so much here that you come back, not just to get to see Atlantis, but also to get to see some of our 700 islands. We have got 700 islands in the Bahamas, and I'm about to fly off to Long Island, and you're welcome to come there. It's beautiful, but each island is unique and it's beautiful, so please get some sand in your shoes and take a little bit with you so that you can come back.
Welcome to your Royal Fidelity Business Report. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Cyan Thompson. Topping the business beat, a technical team from the Inter-American Development Bank is expected in town next week to assess the status of the New Providence Road Improvement Project and decide whether to award additional funds. This comes as the government announced another request to borrow $65 million from the IDB to complete road works in New Providence. And tourism website Expedia.com has seen a 25% increase in bookings to the Bahamas. In fact, the Bahamas has ranked 4th among Caribbean destinations, sought after by visitors. Expedia is the world's largest full-service online travel agency. From the International Business Beat, Australia's economy has expanded by less than expected in the fourth quarter of 2011 as business spending dropped, sending the dollar to a 6-week low. Gross domestic product rose by 0.4% in 3 months to the end of December compared with previous 3 months.